What's going on, property enthusiasts, home buyers and investors, and welcome back to another weekly video. And today what we're going to be looking at is embracing LMI or you're losing out in the long run. Now, what exactly is LMI? So loan mortgage insurance, guys, is an insurance policy that the banks take out when it takes on more risk for a borrower. And if that borrower is paying less, or if they're paying a deposit less than 20%, say around that 10 or 12% mark, then they're going to slap you with a bit of a penalty for paying that lesser amount. Now, how bad is that? Or, is it worthwhile saving that extra 8%? So say you're paying a 12% deposit and maybe staying out of the property game for a couple of years. And for the majority of people, I say no. It's worth embracing the LMI, getting into the property sooner and riding the growth wave, especially in this current market. And you'd be surprised about how many discovery calls and how many strategy sessions I'm having with potential clients where they're still afraid of LMI and thinking they should sit on the sidelines and wait until they can save up that 20% deposit. Now, I'm going to give you some examples here to give you some clarity and confidence around that, so you, for one, understand the implications of maybe not paying LMI sooner, and two, the implications of maybe waiting waiting that time to save that 20% deposit. Now, if we have a look at that $500,000 property, an LMI on that would be about $5,000 to $8,000 at a 10 or 12% deposit, okay? Now, at a capital growth rate, guys, at just 5%, so a very nominal 5%, guys, is going to be $25,000. So that amount is going to get absorbed very, very quickly. Now, a lot of the banks at the moment, a lot of the big four banks, a lot of economists are coming out and saying that the property markets could exceed in 2021 and 2022 double-digit growth. Now, currently as it sits in Brisbane, we're roughly over that 5%. I think we're about 5.4% over the quarter. So over the last 3 months, we've had 5.4% growth in houses. Nationally, that's currently sitting at about 6.8%. So we're kind of very much on target to exceed that 10% growth. Now, it's anyone's guess if we'll actually get there or not, but currently it's looking that way. But let's not even go into double-digit growth. Let's just stay at 9%, okay? So let's be a little bit conservative. And that's going to be $45,000 in growth, guys. So again, absorbing that LMI very, very quickly. Now, currently, the Brisbane median house value, guys, sits at 608K, so 608,000. And on average, it takes an Australian to save a 20% deposit of this 608 about 7.5 to 8 years. Now, for a $500,000 property, guys, let's bring that down to roughly, let's say, about 6 years to save a 20% deposit, okay? Now, if we're looking at maybe a 10 or 12% deposit instead, we're looking at about a 3 to 4 year to save that initial deposit. Now, why that is powerful is because then we have a 2-year gap. So say instead of waiting 6 years to save 20%, it only takes you maybe 4 years to save 10 to 12%. So you've got 2 years there that if you bought 2 years earlier, you could be sitting on 2 years worth of growth, which would be $50,000 if we're looking at 5%, or $90,000 over 2 years. So $45,000 over 2 years would be $90,000 at 9%. If you got into the market theoretically right now, for example, and we got this sort of growth, and even if we didn't get that sort of growth, you'd be pretty much almost guaranteed to be getting that lower figure of around the 5% if you bought obviously investment grade, or if you're a home buyer, you're obviously buying in those good high quality areas that people obviously want to move into, and they're going to get that good growth in the long run. Because remember, not all property is created equal, but I hope that gives you some clarity and more confidence around why you should be embracing that LMI, because it is such a small amount to pay to get into the property market sooner and to start taking the gains out of the property market sooner. And in this current environment, guys, it's very, very strong growth if you're buying well. And remember, guys, like, comment on this video, throw me some questions. I'd love to answer. Remember, guys, you can jump over to www.propertynavigation.com.au, go down and book in a 20-minute discovery call with myself. That way you can get onto me personally. We can have a 20-minute one-on-one conversation, and I can answer more of the questions that you have that are more specific to you. But until then, guys, happy house hunting, happy investing, and I'll see you guys next week with another video. Cheers.